It was hard for small dinosaurs to stay alive every day. How do they do it in the world's harshest climates? From cold nights in the polar regions to hot deserts, these tiny theropods had to deal with problems that we would think were impossible to solve. Still, they not only made it through, they thrived. How did their amazing changes help them survive in such harsh environments? We'll look into the secret lives of these tough dinosaurs and find out the amazing things they did to beat the chances in this video. The new paleontological study has shed new light on these amazing animals and revealed surprising and inspiring ways they managed to stay alive. Let's look into the science behind how they did so well. Think about how different the world would have been millions of years ago, during the Mesozoic era. From the hot equator to the cold edge of the poles, the land was covered in both hot deserts and thick woods. The weather could be just as harsh as the animals that lived there, making it a world of extremes. This varied and often harsh world put small theropods through tests that would have made even the toughest animals weak. Think about how hard it would be to find food when the land was dry and empty, or how cold it would be during a polar night when it would be dark for months on end. It was very hard to stay alive because there weren't many supplies, it was very cold, and bigger animals were always a threat. So what would a small dinosaur need to do to stay alive in this harsh world? What were the special skills that helped them stay strong and do well when so many others failed? Let's enter the world of these small theropods and look at the amazing physical traits they created to stay alive in such harsh environments. Think about a time when changing in ways we can barely understand was necessary to stay alive. The development of feathers was one of the most interesting changes. At first, these feathers only did one thing: keep the bird warm. When temperatures dropped very low, their feathers kept them warm by keeping the heat close to their bodies. These feathers were useful at first, but over time they became even more useful. Not only did they keep them warm, but they also helped them fit in with their surroundings and even show off during mating displays. Imagine a small theropod with its feathers puffed up to stay warm. It would look great against snow or trees. Another good thing about them was their small size. Not like their bigger relatives, these little dinosaurs were able to move quickly and easily. Not only did this help them get away from danger, but it also saved them energy, which was very important in places where food was rare. Imagine a quick theropod running through the bushes, planning every move to save energy and avoid being seen. Fossil data found by researchers supports these amazing adaptations. Studies of bone structure in fossils that still have feather impressions on them have shown us how these dinosaurs were built to survive in the toughest environments. Now close your eyes and picture a small theropod walking through snow. Ice covers the ground and the air is very cold. That doesn't bother this little survivor though. The bird's feathers are fluffed up, making a warm cocoon, and its patterns help it fit in with the white background. Every careful step it takes is part of a plan. It keeps its strength, stays alert, and always changes to meet the demands of its world. But outward traits weren't enough to make sure they would survive. Even these little theropods had to use their brains. Here are some of the smart things they did to not only live but also thrive in the harshest environments you can think of. There are places in the cold regions where the sun might not shine for months at a time, so these dinosaurs may have used the night to their advantage. Think about the dark nights when the bigger predators were sleeping and these small theropods were awake. They would hunt in silence at night, hiding in the shadows so no one would see them. They could use their sharp senses to find food and stay safe when everyone else was asleep. They didn't have to stay inside all night though. When the weather got too bad, like when it was very cold or very hot, these little survivors knew where to go for protection. A small theropod might carefully dig into soft ground or look for a hidden spot among rocks. They could rest, lay their eggs, and keep their young safe from both predators and the weather in these makeshift houses. These safe places became their havens, away from the risks above. Research and fossils point to these interesting habits. Paleontologists have found proof that some theropods may have dug holes or even lived in small groups or packs. By working together and protecting each other, these groups increased their chances of survival. Imagine that a very bad storm is coming through, the wind is howling, and the temperature is falling quickly. It's warm and cozy inside the hole where a group of small theropods are huddled together. Even though it's storming outside, these little dinosaurs stay calm and safe. Their instincts to stay warm and find cover keep them safe all night. As the storm approaches, they wait out the danger in their secret world below the surface, knowing that staying together is the only way to stay alive. Because of their amazing trip, these small theropods' size wasn't a problem. In fact, it was their best quality. Along with helping them stay alive, their amazing adaptations changed the course of evolution for all time. Their ability to beat almost anything was a big part of their success. Consider a time when food was limited and only the toughest people could make it. As opportunistic eaters, these tiny theropods did well on anything that was around them, like bugs crawling on the ground, small mammals running through the bushes, or even other dinosaur eggs. This allowed them to find food where others couldn't, which gave them an advantage in the survival game. But it wasn't just about getting food. They also had to make sure the next generation would be able to live. These small dinosaurs were very good at reproducing, which gave them a big edge. Some laid a lot of eggs, which increased the chances that at least some would hatch. Other birds carefully watched over their nests in safe places to make sure their young had the best start in life. Picture a mother theropod keeping an eye on her nest, which is hidden and safe. She is ready to protect her young from any danger. Findings in fossils that show a wide range of diets and nesting sites back up these habits. The fact that they could change what they ate and how they reproduced was very important to their long-term survival. When you think about these old techniques, compare them to how small animals like birds and mammals manage to stay alive today. Isn't it interesting how these tiny animals from the past and today have similar ways of surviving in a tough world? As our trip into the hidden lives of small theropods comes to an end, one thing is clear: these tiny dinosaurs were truly amazing. Because they were strong in harsh climates, made smart adaptations, and were able to do well against all chances, their story of survival is still interesting to us. These small but powerful animals changed the world they lived in many ways, from the feathers on their bodies to the way they ate and slept to the way they hunted at night. If you like learning about these amazing ways that ancient survivors managed to stay alive, please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories from the past. What do you think? How do you think these small theropods were able to live longer than their bigger relatives? Leave your thoughts in the box below. If you want to learn more, watch our other videos about how dinosaurs changed over time and the environments they lived in. We still have a lot to learn about these old worlds.